Thank you. So I think we got a few minutes left for the break. I'm going to go through maybe just a couple questions that Ms. Testa kind of came up with for me to get things going, and then I hope you'll have some for me after we take a little break. It can be about anything. It can be about not about music. It can be about my boat, whatever. Not that we want to talk about my boat, but anything at all. It doesn't really matter. It's an open thing. So think about that if you would. And if I'm on something you just want to throw your hand up too, we can do that. I'd rather just keep this as laid back as we can. I know I got kind of technical with some of the stuff I was talking about, just to kind of give you, I'm sure that I always wondered how people get paid off of radio play and different things like that as musicians. So just trying to show you little tidbits I have that I'm still learning more about the music business all the time, believe me, sometimes the hard way. What other artists have influenced me musically? You know, that's kind of an interesting question because I remember, you know, when I first started playing music back in my electric guitar days, I was listening to Iron Maiden and a bunch of stuff that I really can't even take to listen to now. So I'm sure that some of that influenced me on some level. I remember lying in my bed and picturing myself playing like electric guitar solos on stage in front of 80,000 people, of course. That has yet to happen. The way I play guitar, I don't think it'll ever happen. But you know, along the way, when I first started playing out in college, or in the college thing, when I was playing, you know, around here in Webb's, and I was doing a lot more Simon Garfunkel, James Taylor, old stuff. Indigo Girls weren't old at the time, but more folky. And then once we got in the grunge era, I started playing a lot of Pearl Jam and Nirvana and stuff like that. And then slowly now I've been, you know, went through the Dave Matthews phase and all that. But I still play a lot of the old songs as well. So who knows, when I'm writing a song, it's hard to know who's really directly influencing me because I've been playing so many other people's music for so long. So I wish I could even say, I mean, I know I love artists like Counting Crows and Tom Petty and Keith Urban, and I'm sure on some level, you know, those artists influence me. But when I pick up a guitar and start writing, I really don't know. I'm not thinking, okay, let's make this sound like a, you know, like a Styx song, which I never would. But anyway, you know. Anyway, but what got me interested in music, you know, who knows? When you're a kid, you have dreams of, you know, going. I used to love music, of course, so I'd go to shows and I'd picture myself up on stage and think, wouldn't that be cool? And I remember, like, back then, all my big electric guitar heroes, like Eddie Van Halen and stuff, they had all these tricks, so I'd practice, like, flipping my guitar around my neck with the strap, and I'd probably knock my head with the thing more than I really did it, but I used to sit around and dream of those things, you know, like every kid kind of does at some point. But I'm sure probably it was also meeting girls at some level. I remember that when I first saw I saw a friend playing guitar in college, and all the girls liked him. He was making money. I'm like, I can do that, you know. And it took me a while to get kind of good at it, but at some level, that's every musician loves the attention of being on stage. I'm sure that, you know, there's some level of that too, whether I care to admit it or not. But high school music program, I was involved in choir and the Choraleers, which was the group that went beyond the after-school kind of thing. So I'm not sure how into it I was. I mean, I did it. It was kind of cool to learn about singing harmonies and choir and things of that nature. But I definitely wanted to sing rock music and always did, or whatever popular music. But I was involved in high school choir. I think that was valuable in teaching me how to sing correctly. And I've still had to take some vocal lessons to get the habit of singing from your diaphragm, breathing correctly, because I'm singing 4 hours a night sometimes. That'll wear you out if you play 5 4-hour gigs in a row that week. By the night 4, you're really scratchy, and no one wants to hear you play Bob Dylan songs all night, you know. So, which I had to do on occasion when the voice isn't working. But anyway, yeah, right after graduating, no, I didn't pursue music immediately. But I'm telling you that I think that once again, you know, having an education and a degree to fall back on. I have friends that all the time are saying they want to, or people I'll encounter that say, I want to do what you do, and I think more power to you, go for it, but it's not an easy road to take because there's a million people that want to do it, and it's not about how good you are. You may be the best player and singer out there. There's much more that goes into it in terms of being successful at this. So I always say, try it on the side, you know, try it for a while, just getting into it. Don't quit. Don't put all your eggs in that basket. It's hard to do. And how did I get to where I am today? It's kind of a broad question, but it's just a matter of slowly developing different markets of talents that I can play, really advertising the heck out of my shows and getting my friends to come out and bring their friends, and then on my breaks being sure that I don't go in the back room and sit there all quiet. I go out and talk to people in the crowd. Usually it's people I know, but make sure I thank them for coming to the show and meet their friends. And I think that I've noticed that once people look at you as one of your friends, they're going to support you more. They're going to come out. If they just say, well, we saw Jackson, it sounds great, that's cool, but if they feel like they know you, they're going to be much more apt to come to the show. So it's taken a long time. I remember I was barely making ends meet initially, and I was scraping by for quite a while. And not that I'm ever going to be wealthy at this, I don't think. It's hard to predict, but at least I make a good living where if I want to go out to dinner, I can do that now. I used to be I'd have to save my 1 or 2 dinner nights out per week and eat spaghetti the rest. But and the transition from pop into country, I mentioned, I just thought I'd try something new. I kind of have a variety of interests, as we said. I play a lot of songs out, so I went into this country music thing I did, but the kind of country, there's certain kinds of country I like and certain kinds I don't like. So I focused on the poppier kind of country that, it's funny, I'd write a song that's really a pop song, and once you put a steel guitar and a fiddle on that song in the studio, it's magically a country song now. So these days, it's really a fine line between them, and I'm always trying to walk that fine line. It's good to be able to have a different variety of people like your music. I have fans that are 3 years old that jump up and down their car seats in the back, and I've got old grandparents that like the stuff as well. So I like to think that my music's kind of accessible for a variety of people, and I can try and make fans young and old, different demographics, and keep this going for a little longer. You just never know. You got to save your money when you're a musician, because we don't have the retirement plans that I'm sure some of the people who are out there working for corporations have, or these teachers that work so hard to keep you guys well educated. But why don't we take a little break, and if you guys can think about anything you haven't, I'll play another song right now, and then maybe I'll do one later. I'll just play out into the break, and then take 10 minutes, and we'll come back. Anyone have anything they want to hear that one of my songs you might like?